Okay, so it was like back in April. I was at this point with the brand where I was just like, something has to give. Everything just kind of felt off. Like I felt like everything we were trying to do, we were doing such good things. Like, you know, we've been on the news. We had developed the brand to a point where I was like kind of excited, you know, but ultimately I feel like none of those things were really helping with the growth, and that was just such a bad sign to me, because I'm like, if we're investing all of this time, all this effort, all of, you know, this money and stuff into, you know, developing the brand, making it better, but then it's not getting there, that's a problem. Things are not getting worse, but it's like they're not growing either. And so I'm like, okay, we just had to do something. So that was at the point where me and my team, we got together and we were just brainstorming and brainstorming and brainstorming. And I'm sure that like I drove them crazy, but after a lot of like going back and forth about things, we decided to change the name. That was the first thing we decided to change. And then from there, it was like a progression of, okay, let's change the products, let's change this, let's change that. And then now that's kind of how we ended up where we are right now. Now, before I go any further, let me first give you a history lesson of the brand. So this was So Luxe. I started it back in 2017, and as you can see, it was just our highlighting oil. Now, this was whack though, so I just scrapped that, and then I relaunched again in 2018. Everyone loved it. We had influencers that would support us and promote our products all the time, and we had consistent customers. We even had raving customers.
It's done by So Luxe Cosmetics by my girl, DONI Brown. So I'm going to tag her. But this is everything.
People seemed to be really into it, but that really just wasn't enough for us. The new brand is called Pivot. We decided to go with Pivot for obvious reasons, because we are pivoting, but I also just love that word. Like, I began to fall in love with the word once we threw it out there as an idea. I feel like it just represents this idea that like no matter what happens or whatever's going on, you can always switch directions. You can always create a new destiny for yourself. You can always take a different route. There are options. It's not like you only have one chance. You have many chances. It's just like a beautiful concept, you know. And then after we picked the name, I literally have heard that word every single day. Like, I've heard somebody say the word pivot every single day. And I promise you, before that, I would hardly ever hear that word. So that's kind of just how I knew, like, it was just meant to be. As far as the concept, all of our products are going to have CBD in them. And all of the products are going to have some sense of like wellness to them. We want to empower you in a certain way. Going forward, we're going to be coming out with some products that are made to actually help women be their best selves. And with the brand, I really wanted to just cater to women of color. As I was like researching about CBD and like how people use it within the beauty space, one thing that stuck out to me and that was just so alarming and disturbing was the fact that no one has really been catering to us specifically with CBD. It didn't really make sense to me, considering that a lot of women of color use cannabis. So it was just weird to me that no one would have thought to create a brand or a concept that caters to us, you know, specifically when it comes to CBD within the beauty space, because we're also the biggest consumer when it comes to beauty products. That is like my mission, is to just create things for us that we love and that cater to the things that we, the issues that we're dealing with and our pain points. So for this series, I'm going to be taking you guys along with me for every step of this rebrand. The things that I need to do to rebrand include, I need to do some research. I need to find a new team. Third, I need to develop the new products and then solidify the branding, create a launching strategy, build an audience, and then most importantly, I need to launch. Plus 1,000 other things. But first, I'm going to do dinner with Monica. I'm here with Monica, and we are eating at the Dallas Fish Market. Yum!
so delicious.
So I'm over here telling her about the new brand and how we are actually doing things now. And so she really likes the idea.
I was saying I actually really support that idea. I think women that love CBD will appreciate various of different products to come like once a month, like lipstick, self-care, for your cramps, stuff like that. Like,
yeah, so you think it should be a subscription?
I think so, where you get different things but all have CBD, you know?
Yeah, so you would subscribe?
Yes.
We have our first subscriber, guys.
I'm here for it.
Right.
Cheers to that. Not bad. Here, let's cheers.
Cheers. Tell me why all of these are mine. They are trying to get us lit. Like, what is happening? So do you think
as like a reality show, guys? No, I'm saying like, do you think like as ambitious women and just creatives, do you just sometimes want to go into hiding if you don't feel like happy with what you have? Or, like, you know, I feel like your brain is always running, and then there's a point where you just want to like.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Whatever you created, you're creating, and sometimes it takes. You know, Jesus had to leave, you know, in order to like think.
That's very true, girl. I had to pull a Jesus.
You have to step away to talk to God.
Girl, you better preach. Girl, say that. Say that.
That's all I'm saying.
Where's the offering basket? Where's the offering basket?
I'm like really passionate about this.
Wait, tell me why you guys. We used to go to the same church, but like different campuses. And now she switched up. Now she switched up on me.
Well, it's because I feel like I needed to grow, and
the shade.
No, not like that. The church is getting too big that I just needed somewhere smaller where I can grow. So, but I still love Shoreline.
Okay, so you're saying Hillsong is like a little more advanced, like
it's smaller, and they need your help, and you're there, like.
So you're saying like word-wise it's like really good too?
Oh, it's also, yes, and the worship is so good. No shit, I love Sorry.
I'm sending this to him as soon as I post it.
No, it's feel like I wasn't really growing there. No shade.
And that is shade. Lately, it's so funny because like I've been getting so many people, like friends and family, and then just followers like DMing me or texting me and asking me, you know, like what's going on with the brand or what's going on with So Luxe. And I've even had a few people like that'll just randomly send me encouraging messages, and they're like, stay encouraged, and I'm just like, nothing's wrong. like we're totally fine. Or people will just check on me and they'll be like, are you okay? Like you haven't, you know, been posting about any of your brand stuff, you know. And so it's like, I appreciate that everyone is concerned, but it's just funny to me how people assume that something is wrong whenever, you know, you're not posting about your brand or whatever. Like, I feel better than ever about what we're doing right now with the brand, so. Okay, so I just went into Sephora, and basically I went because I was trying to figure out if, one, I went to get a sample of a primer because I need a new primer, but I mainly went because I wanted to see if they had any CBD stuff in the store, because I was reading articles and a lot of the articles were saying that Sephora is about to add like a CBD section to their store. So with that, like, I'm like, oh my god, we have to be in Sephora one day soon. So I go in there and she like gives me a sample of the Kiehl's thing, like their oil, their sativa oil, and that, if you know anything about CBD, that's not CBD, but it's a really popular product because it's still derived from hemp, and like the oil, and everyone loves the results. So basically she said beyond that, there are products in there that have like hemp derived things in them, but there are not any CBD products. All of their CBD products are only sold online just because of the regulations. They cannot figure out, they haven't been able to figure out like a way to get the CBD into the stores, even in the ones that where it's legal, you know, in those states. Like, it's just too much of a hassle to try to figure out a whole system for that. So if we want to actually be in stores, then we're going to have products that do not contain CBD and have hemp derived things. But if we're not worried about being in the stores, then we can probably get distributors to carry us online. So now that gives me something to think about. But in the meantime, I'm going to be testing my competitors' products because, like, if you know anything about developing products, the number one thing, like, before you start even developing, is you need to not only know who your competition is, but you need to, like, actually try it for yourself and see how it works. So I need to see what I'm aiming for, and then what I'm gonna actually bring to the table that's gonna be better than whatever they have going on. So I will be testing it out. Also, she said that, like, of course, Sephora has a policy where, like, you can return anything within 60 days. So I might order some stuff and then return it. But don't tell anybody. Later that week, I ended up stopping by a CBD store, and these have been popping up all over Dallas. So I was like, I have to go in here and see what they carry. And so they carry, like, a good variety of products, but the store itself was just kind of boring, so I didn't stay very long, but it helped me get an understanding of what's on the market. I'm just a little nervous. I don't know, I'm anxious to see how people will react.
Hi, this is Jenna. If you don't know, she is the owner of the brand Finish.
Take off that crop top. This ain't the spot, this is outside.
What is going on? What is going on?